What is going on? It is Sunday night, September 26th, and today, well, let me first introduce myself. My name is Patrick, and this is Everyday Tech, and I already have two people joining me already, Ash, Consistent Ash, and Javier Alejandro. Thank you for joining me here. Today, we are going to talk about some particular things here, and we are talking about M1 Macs and just connecting more monitors to them too. So that's what we're going to be going today, and then the other thing that we're going to be going over is an update to my Notion WordPress plugin that I created. So yep, so we have some people in here. Not sure if this is who this person is either, but anyway, thanks for joining me here, and glad I have some slow chats on here. Okay, so the main thing I'm going to talk about today is kind of give you a demonstration of how to connect more than one monitor to an M1 Mac. And so if you don't know that one of the things that is great about an M1 Mac is the speed, performance, everything. Apple just kind of hit it out of the park as far as that's concerned. So if you have a Mac and you haven't got an M1 Mac, you're going to see a 90-day, performance wise. And if you're a PC person, you've been hearing a lot about the M1 Macs, and I prefer Macs, but I am not against Windows at all. So I used Windows for years, for most of, I would say for more than 10 years or so, just using it. And then the last 20 years I've been using, 20 some plus years I've been using my Mac. So what's going on, Robert, as well? Thank you for joining me. So today I'm going to go over how I do with my M1 Mac, and I'm just going to say hi to more people here. Ricky RDT joining me here for the first time on this stream, and thank you very much. And so let me tell you about my my setup here actually. And if you don't know me, my name is Patrick, and this is Everyday Tech for everyday people. So I like to do tech reviews. I like to do all kinds of things, and and I do tech reviews on all things. So my latest video that I did was a lot on the my keychron K7 here. Is it the K7? Yeah, the K7. And the reason why I bring that up right now really quick, let me answer this question. Is the keychron K3 a good keyboard? I would say yes. And I would say it's very similar to my keychron K7 here, except it's I think an 80% keyboard. I'm not sure the exact ones. 75% I think. And the keychron here is a 65% keyboard here. So it doesn't have the function buttons, or it has the functions buttons intermixed with the number and the media buttons, and so that could be a problem for some people. But I like the compactness of my K7 here, but the K3 seems like another great low profile keyboard. So yeah. And then Robert saying the M1 is pretty good. It is awesome. And to know that this is the slowest Mac you're going to get, that they're going to come out with these M1 chips. So yeah, so it's only going to go up better from here, right? And I have a feeling this is going to be the Mac I'm going to be using for a long time. So, okay, let me tell you about my setup though. First is I'm running on my M1 Mac Mini. This has 16 gigabytes. I think you can get away with the base one. I appreciate Robert for letting everyone know. Just hit that like button if you can. And anyway, if you're new for the first time, and really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. I am nearing 500 subs, and it's been I'm amazed every time that number goes up every day, really. And my goal at the beginning of the year was to get 300 subs. Seriously, at the calendar year. We're at September and I'm almost at 500, and I am just still practicing, getting used to this, and people are just enjoying what I'm doing, and so I appreciated that. So okay, so do you have monitors connected by HDMI or display? I think you mean display port probably, or I have both actually on this M1 Mac Mini. And the reason why I love the M1 Mac Mini is it does have the HDMI port, and it does have this support for one display port via USB-C. And so one of the complaints that people have with the M1 MacBook Airs and Pros is that they do not support more than one display natively. Okay, so and so today here I'm going to show you, let me just show you my desk a little bit. I have these two portable monitors right here. This is for my A10 Mini here, but these two portable monitors that I'm going to demonstrate how we can combine, or how we can put more than one monitor on the M1 MacBook Air. So why? Because if you haven't followed my channel lately, I do have a nice shiny M1 MacBook Air, and this has the same specs as my M1 Mac Mini here. So okay, let's see. Can you chain monitors with the mini Thunderbolt? Okay, now if we're talking about the M1 Max here still, you can only do one native. Okay, other than the Mac Mini here, which has a HDMI port, you can only really do one display. And that's the way the controllers have been configured. So, yeah, so that's one of the, okay, I had just gotten this MacBook Air, M1 MacBook Air, and I do this hybrid type of event at my church here. And what I usually do is have two monitors, my laptop monitor, my monitor, and it's hooked up to the TV so other people can see because we do a hybrid Zoom with people in person and people online. And so I usually like to have two monitors on my desk, and then another monitor. One monitor is my laptop, another external monitor, which I'm using one of these external ones or these portable ones, and then another one hooked up to the TV. And I usually chain or mirror some of those displays as well. Well, I forgot that my MacBook Air couldn't do it because I had a MacBook Pro before, and so it wasn't working. So 1080, what's going on, John? And if you don't know John, please follow him at Coffee Talking Tech, and he's streaming with Jeff every Tuesday on Jeff's channel, and J.A. Smith, and Thursday on his channel. So yeah. So thanks, Robert, for coming in as usual, and anybody who's here, it's awesome. Yeah. So back to Saints. He says, do you think there's going to be a Mac Mini M1X coming out very soon? I think there definitely will be one coming out. I don't think they're going to come out very soon, and I have a feeling that's going to be because of the supply chain issues going around the world. But yeah. Okay, so to recap, I am going to show you how with my M1 MacBook Air here, and this applies to the MacBook Air, MacBook Pro, M1 MacBook Pro, how we're going to do multiple displays here. And then after this, I'm going to give you an update on my Notion plugin API, Notion WordPress API, Notion WordPress plugin that I made, and I submitted it, and I still need to do some work on it before it gets approved, but I'll get into that. So, okay, so we are going to, so remember, other than the Mac Mini, M1 Mac Mini, the the only other natively display that you can do natively to do more than one display, and actually natively can only do 2 displays because as a HTML is through this method I'm going to show you. So I'm going to switch. So when I switch to this view, this microphone is going to be in the way. So I'm going to switch it to this Rode Wireless Go. This is the first version, and so the audio is not going to sound as great, but I'm going to switch to that right now. And you know, I just let me just say I appreciate everyone joining me. I see that I have at least 7 concurrent, and this is probably the most I've ever had on a stream. So thank you for joining me. And so let me switch to this microphone right here. So it's not going to be as great as the one here. And let me know how the audio levels are right now. It's not going to be as crisp, I don't think. Let's take a drink of water here. Okay, so I'm going to switch to this view right now. Okay, so I have the M1 MacBook Air here. Love this thing. The has the fingerprint, everything. Okay. Now what I have here is I have 2 displays right here. I did a review on this one. This is the UPerfect. This is the UPerfect 13-inch. These are both USB-C monitors, so portable monitors, but they have USB or HDMI ports on them. And then this is a company called Wow. And this is a 15.5-inch monitor here. So, sorry. Okay, let me answer Ricky's question really quick. As far as this microphone is concerned, this is a Rode Wireless Go. And then as far as the other microphone is concerned, it's a really old microphone. This is a Shure SM48. And so I just had one lying around. And the other one, and this microphone here is going into my Audience Evo 4 audio interface. So, okay, so let me get back to this. So both of these, and I will be doing a review on this one soon. I did a review on this one, and there's reasons why I like this one. But the reason why I like these monitors, and let me grab this one, is I could just do this through one single cable. This will power those monitors up. Okay, and so you see that one is on. Okay, now if we try to do the same thing with this monitor, what you'll see is this monitor will turn on, but it won't connect. It'll go through a power cycle because it'll recognize that there's power going through here. And so let's see. But it's not connecting, and now it turned on, but it's going to go through this whole cycle of things. That's what happens with this monitor when it receives power. Okay, but to prove to you that it's working, let me plug that in, and now it's going to connect directly to it as a second monitor. See that? And then now when I push this back in, it's not going to be see, it's receiving no signal, but it receives some power, right? Okay, now those of you who have been around for a while, like as far as computer industries, you already know what this technology that I'm about to do, or about to show off here, and it's an old technology, but it's been updated. And let me just say, Ricky sure sounds so good. Yeah, it does, in the sense of especially compared to this wireless mic as well. So, and let me answer one more question. Am I using OBS? I am using ECAMM right now because I'm on a Mac, and ECAMM here is one. Yeah, so ECAMM is Mac only, and if you are on a PC, I recommend. How come I'm blanking on that, John? What you're using, vMix. Anyway, so yeah, so let's see. And I have Edward here. Edward, I'll get to your question really quick. Okay, so now the way we're going to attach both of these monitors is through something called DisplayLink. Now DisplayLink here uses USB technology and basically uses software to convert the signal from an HDMI, or it uses software to convert a signal from USB to an HDMI port, right? And so I've used this in the past, especially with my Macs, and the reason why I didn't use it that often is because it was very laggy, right? But with the performances with the M1 Macs, the DisplayLink technology has really come a long way, and this works both with Windows and Macs. So you do have to install something on your Mac here, but yeah. So Edward, good to see you. Came out when you got a second. Have any reason you got the Air? Okay, that's a good question. The reason why I got an Air is the M1 Mac Mini is my personal computer, and I was using a 2011 iMac at work. So yeah. And Ricky says, I'm trying OBS, not a big fan of going. Well, it's all a matter of how you get it set up, and I do like OBS, but I don't like how you have to try to play around with the settings so much. And ECAMM is kind of like makes it a little bit more kind of easy in that sense. It's like having a wizard for you to help set this up. So okay, let me get through this part before I answer more questions. I'm going to unplug this first, put in a adapter here. This is my Anchor adapter here. Plug in my first monitor here. And then this is my DisplayLink here. And okay, so let me put this down real quick. I don't have much desk space today, but here is a DisplayLink adapter, and actually the best way to do this is to shut this off for now. Let me just give you a close look of this adapter. This actually bought this a long time ago when I wanted to do more monitors on actually a MacBook Air, Intel MacBook Air a long time ago. So so this thing here is called the Cable Matters. Let's see if it'll focus here. This is a DisplayLink to HDMI adapter, and I believe they make other adapters, but as you can see, there's a USB 3.0 port on this side. And so what that does is it puts the signal, uses USB, puts the signal in through, and lets you do an HDMI out. And it's using all software in that sense, not using the native display drivers. And so I wouldn't run games off this necessarily, but for productivity, this would be something awesome. So yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, and you know, John, I agree. I agree that OBS can be awesome. I mean, there's a little bit of learning curve in the sense of trying to get the settings right, and so that's kind of the things that I always wanted to. I started diving deep into, but yeah. And the other thing I would say is ECAMM makes it easy, but it's paid, and this is subscription. And my subscription comes up in November. I got it like on a Black Friday deal, maybe actually. And unless they have a new deal of updating it, and they up their prices after that too. So I may consider not renewing and just going all OBS. But anyway, okay. So let me get back to this here, and let's get this back up. And so I now have two monitors set. I have my let's see, I'm not being very organized today. Let's see, where's my, there we go. We're gonna hook up, I need a separate display place for demos here. we're going to put the display link adapter in here. I'm going to bring power to this guy here soon. So let me get a power cord here. Okay. And Ash, thank you for joining me here. Gonna head out, finish work. I know, kids not being able to sleep, been there. So thank you for joining me. Okay, so now we have power to our monitor here. Now I'm gonna just go ahead and plug this in. And this is a USB-A adapter because it's an old adapter. I believe they make more adapters. And okay, so now I have 3 monitors running now. 2 external monitors, and the 3rd monitor is my display. So the one thing you have to do is you have to update you have to run the display driver software on the Mac itself. And once you do that, it does detect the displays here. Now they do make docks that have display link technology built in right in. So if you're worried about not having enough outputs and different things, that's one easy way to do it. So I just really wanted to show you there is ways to connect more than one external monitor to a display. Now I'm going to be doing part of this, me doing these lives, is eventually I'll be doing a formal video on these. This is I call this my working session type live working sessions, and just to talk out some of these ideas, see how they go, and then eventually maybe use some of this footage in my videos. But I will be going through different scenarios. So like, for example, in my hybrid settings that I wanted to do, I wanted to mirror actually my second monitor and the TV so I can see what everyone else was watching out there, but I couldn't do that. And I don't necessarily need this display adapter to do it. Actually, display links don't allow you to, well, it depends on the driver or it depends on the monitor, but I wouldn't be able to mirror 2 monitors. The one thing you can do is if you really just want to mirror one display, an external display to another, you can do an HDMI splitter as well. So that's one way to do it. So yeah, so you can this would be, and the nice thing about the M1 Mac Minis, or the M1 Macs itself in general, with this Air especially, is there is really no lag that I see in this display link monitor as well. And if you look it up, maybe you can look it up for me, John, or something, but I think you can do up to about 100 monitors, but of course you're going to run out of HDMI ports as well. So but I will say the other thing that you can do, and if you have an iPad already, you can use AirPlay as well, and that's a great way to extend your monitor. I can get my M1 my iPad here, and yeah, I can get my iPad here and do a 4th monitor without any issues. So yeah, yep, that's kind of my update on that. There are different ways of doing this, and yeah, so a formal video will be coming out this week on it. Just kind of wanted to do that as well. So the last thing I'll talk about, and I wanted to make a shorter show here. I hear a kid crying out there, but let's see. And I'm gonna bring it back. Yeah, serious. And I don't have the desk space here to do it. So let me switch it back to. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. And okay, the last thing I'll talk about is I created a Notion plugin. So basically, I take the Notion, use the Notion API, And if you don't know what Notion is, please check out my videos, and I'll put it in the description after the show here. But I took the content from Notion and created a plugin where you can display it on a WordPress site. And I submitted that in for to be put in the WordPress plugin directory, and they sent me back a lot of different changes. So that's where that's at. I'll be doing some more more legwork on that, and then submitting after I make the changes that they suggested. And so a lot of great suggestions. It was my first time doing a plugin. It's kind of like submitting an app to the Apple Store or App Store in iOS. So but the WordPress team is really good as far as sending you suggestions, different things I go, oh yeah, I should have thought about that earlier. So yeah. So I connect one through HDMI and the other through USB-C to DisplayPort. And I'm assuming that you're talking about your Mac Mini, and that's what I do exactly here. And the nice thing is I have this ultra wide 35-inch monitor. Let me see if I could show you that here. Yeah, I have this 35-inch curved monitor, and then I usually have one of my portable monitors on right here attached, and I have it attached usually vertically here. So it's usually my Slack channel. So yeah, thanks, John. It's a simple technology that's been around for a while, and they have some docks that are built in. So this works on Windows as well. Yeah, and I like things that work kind of cross-platform, and Apple tends to do a lot of proprietary stuff. But anyway, whatever works for you as far as that's concerned, and Apple's been working for me for now, and so I'm always open for new technologies and things that work, right? So yeah. Other than that, let's see. I'm going to talk about what's coming up this week, and if you have any questions for me, anything about Macs, anything about Notion, anything about anything, anything about streaming, talk to John. Or okay, I'll answer some questions too. But so one of the videos that I'm going to come up, I came up with in my head this week was how many I'm going to do everything on HDMI capture cards, but the cheap ones, and I'm going to see how many I can really plug into one computer. So oh yeah, the idea prompted my head with John there from Coffee Talk and Tech. He has the Elgato CamLink Pro, which is a PCIe card that you can plug into a PC, and you can do things to plug it into a Mac. And so he has 4 inputs, and they act like 4 independent ones. But thanks, John, for joining me. I'll see you on the streams on Tuesday and Thursday on J.A. Smith's and Coffee Talk and Tech. I'm going to link both of their channels in the description after this. I didn't have a chance to do it tonight, but thanks for joining me tonight. So yeah, he has the CamLink Pro, and it's like it has 4 HDMIs in there, and it's like having 4 different capture cards in one card. And so I had the thought, well, I have all these HDMI ports or HDMI capture cards, and I want to see how much I can do to bog down an M1 Mac and see if I can bring it to his knees. So I'm going to use a dock and put all these capture cards in there. I can connect up to 5 capture cards, and I at least have 3 or 4 different ones. So yeah. Oh, you're off tonight. Sorry about that. But yeah. But yeah, I wanted to see if I can do something similar, and I'll probably use OBS to bring in all these, or ECAMM even, to see if I can do like a 4x4 camera angle with 4 different capture cards, and see if there's going to be latency, any performance hits. I'll be monitoring my CPU usage and we'll see what happens. I think that'll be a good, fun show to do. And then I'm going to be doing a video on what I just talked about here with the display links. And then I have another Notion video. So I think some people are enjoying the Notion stuff. I don't know if it'll eventually be the niche that I kind of go down to. I don't think so. I kind of want to keep this channel general. I'm trying to break all the rules as far as a YouTube channel is concerned. So yeah, so that's all I have today. See if anyone has anything else. But thanks to everyone for joining me here today. It's really good to have just a community here, and make sure here's kind of like usually what I do is go to Jay Smith's channel on Tuesday night, see Coffee Talking Tech and Jay Smith go at it, and they just like to hang out and talk about streams, and it's just a enjoyable time to have everyone join in. Then I go to Consistent Ash's stream on Wednesdays. Then I go to Coffee Talking Tech on Thursdays. In between, I'm enjoying whoever's streams and during the week as well. So anyway, that's all I have today. Thanks everyone for joining me, and I hope you have a great week and enjoy. All right, I'm gonna sign off here. Where's my music here? All right, I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.